You didn't outgrow it. You let someone talk you out of it. Let me say that again. You did not outgrow it. You didn't mature. You didn't get more responsible and more grown up. Somebody talked you into being quiet. Somebody convinced you that you showing up as exactly who you are wasn't good enough. It wasn't enough. It wasn't what you were supposed to do. It wasn't the right thing. Somebody convinced you of that. I know that feeling because, and I'm just being really transparent here with you right now, up until a couple of days ago, I was living in that exact same spot, showing up that same exact way every single day. Not saying that we're not doing powerfully important and amazing kind of things, but it was quiet. It wasn't you. It wasn't who we are. It wasn't the heart and soul and core of our very being showing up in everything that we do. Pieces of it, parts of it, powerful, definitely there, not off, not wrong, just not the core of you and not the real stuff. So let me tell you my own journey the last few days. Some of you, if you've watched, if not, go and look. I've been posting them on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and LinkedIn and any other place I can think of, and sharing them with friends and asking them to post them too. I was on a phone call with a friend of mine that I hadn't spoken to in quite a while. I mean, it's been probably longer than that. Because he didn't know that I was in Kansas, and I've been here for like 3.5 years now. So it's been a while since we've had a really deep personal kind of conversation. And although I think we traded some, well, I know in fact we've traded some emails since I moved here. Those things that you talk about when you're on the phone, that you don't necessarily go, hey, and by the way, blah blah blah, stuff in an email. And through the course of that, we were talking about, because he's a musician too, we were talking about music and some of the songs. And originally, and this was about 4 years ago, we had talked about him writing some music, just some lyrics that I had, or even songs that I had sung before, but because the band's no longer around and Ron, passed more than a decade ago and stuff like that, they weren't as there, right? It just wasn't possible. And, anyway, we were revisiting that conversation, and he recommended an AI platform that he's using for at least mapping out, and sometimes even doing the song. Some really incredible, cool things that even if we were to go back 6 months ago in AI, wouldn't have been possible, but really are now. And voice cloning is moving further and further all the time in a good way, if you use it right. Anything can be used for that, but in a really good way. And that sparked me, and I went and I began to, began to play with it and began to both bring out the whole catalog. I have hundreds of songs I've written over the last 40 decades or more. Some of those, and also some new stuff. And it's been really cool to bring all of those out and to really share with you the heart and soul and core of everything that I am. I think it was last week, or maybe the week before, that I did a post that basically said, all I ever wanted to do was sing. At the end, at the heart and the soul and the core of me is just a little songbird, just wanting to sing, just having songs flowing out of me constantly. Now your thing may be something different. Maybe it's that book you're working on. Maybe it's art. Maybe it's being a really great listener, being that person that your friends can call and talk through their things with, being somebody that's just a really great hugger. I mean, whatever that thing is, that thing that was there when you were little, was a parent. Everybody knew it. Everybody said that thing about you. That thing that continues to show up over and over and over again throughout your life. And all too often, sadly, what the world tells us is it's time to grow up. You got to get a real job. You need to mature. You need to hush. Those kind of things. And we buy into it. At least I did. So my question for you is, how many times can I sneeze? No. My question for you is, what did you outgrow? And did you really? I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining me. I almost got through without the sneeze attack. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you. Don't let anybody talk you into being too mature or any of those kind of things. Be you. We'll talk soon.